My name used to be Melanie, but now there is no need for that because I live in a paradise. It's located in heaven, very high above your planet. You can see it from the ground. So don't expect to see it from an airplane window. What are the good things about it? First of all, you don't have to work because you don't have to buy anything. It's all there. You just go and get yourself whatever you want from food, drinks, or branded clothes. Same with gadgets. You get whatever you like, but we usually don't have time to sit on our phones and read your social media. We have more important things to do that you have no idea about. I sometimes hear people's thoughts. They ask how to get to heaven after death. Priests tell you their version, but I want to share my experience. So, I was born on your planet 32 years ago. I spent only 27 years there. But what a time! But let's go through them all in order. I was 14 years old when I fell in love with a guy named John. He was a couple of years older than me. He often told me that he loved me very much and didn't want to lose me. I believe him. One day, John asked me to go for a walk under the full moon. It was a bright night. He and I went to an abandoned park on the outskirts of my town and walked for a long time. And when I felt tired, I asked John to walk me home. He was in no hurry to walk me home. I want to be alone with you, he said, then hugged me tightly and kissed me on the lips. It wasn't the first time I've kissed, so I didn't find anything wrong with it. But this time, John wasn't going to stop. He suddenly pulled me down onto the green grass, then reached under my dress with his hand. John, we agreed that we wouldn't do this until I agreed to do it, I said. Oh no, Melanie. Don't you dare say no to me. I want to know. I can't wait any longer, he said and continued to grope my body. No, I don't want this, I said and tried to push him away, but John hugged me even tighter, bit my lips with his teeth, and started ripping off my clothes with his hands. What happened next was horrible. It was like John turned into someone I didn't know. He was rude to me. He wasn't going to hear me. When I told him I would report him to the police, he first punched me in the stomach and then told me that after he got out of jail, he would follow me for the rest of my life. I was scared and decided to keep quiet. When John finished his dirty work, he sat down next to me, helped me get dressed, and told me he was joking about the harassment. He tried to hug me and comfort me, but I was in a hurry to get out of there and never see my friend again. After that evening, my life went downhill. I didn't want to see my friends. I wasn't interested in guys anymore. I either wanted to be alone with myself or to leave this life altogether and find peace somewhere in heaven. But I was lucky. I learned in time that who voluntarily lives life, the spirit in our world will not find peace. I see them around me a lot now. They are kept away from us. They can go to heaven, but they can't go to hell either. They just wander between those two worlds. But let's go back to my life in the world. After finishing school, I could not go to university. My parents were not rich enough to pay for my education. I myself realized that I didn't have the strength to suffer at the desk of another 5 years. After thinking for a while, I asked my mother for money for the trip. We'll live in the village. I was going to the city. My mother, who by that time was tired of my always bad mood, gave me money for the road without any questions, and advised me to find my way. That's how I first came to the big city. But even there, life was not so simple. That's when I met Peter. He was a fun and daring guy with a cool car. We hung out for a couple weeks. I like him. But then one day, he asked me to come over to his place. I was looking forward to a romantic evening. Peter met me in a hotel room with those other girls. We had fun and danced. That night, I realized that Peter didn't consider me as his potential girlfriend. I felt hurt by that. But later, he listened to me, put a lot of money in my hand, and said, "Why do you need all this fuss with feelings, romance, and other headaches? Isn't it easier to be a realist, to think about today, to take everything from life and go through it the easy way? Why do you have to suffer and agonize? Have you never thought about that?" He asked. "How could it be otherwise? A man has to earn everything," I said timidly. "You're just a little girl at heart. If everyone thought like you, the world will stop. You gotta keep it simple. Let me help you meet some great guys. They will respect your time and attention. They will pay you a lot of money, and you will be in a lap of luxury," he said. I wasn't quite sure what he was talking about, but Peter didn't slow down with his promise. A couple of days later, he gave me the address of the hotel where the first cool guy will be waiting for me. "Behave yourself. Don't hurt him. Obey him in everything," he said. That guy turned out to be a grown man. He was polite and courteous to me. Right after we met, he started harassing me. When I objected, he said it was all paid for. I had to spend the night with him. And so began my new life. I was now a prostitute. I had more clients and more money. But one of those days, one of my clients resented me. "You must be destroyed," he shouted, pulling his underpants over his fat belly. "You are ruining the moral character of civilization." But if there was no demand for me, we wouldn't be doing this, I said back. That made him even angrier. "I promise you, the police will deal with each of you tomorrow. I will see this matter through," he threatened. A little later, I learned from the newspaper that the man was a city official. And yes, he kept his word and issued an order that banned sexual services in his town. But nothing prevented us from moving to a neighboring village and settling there. Some of our clients quietly came to the village on weekends and happily spent money in the local pubs. They are thank us for that. One day, a gay named Romy came to see me. He was a very well-read and interesting guy. "I don't need to sleep with you. I just need to socialize. Can you spare some time to talk to me? I will pay the full rate," he said. "I don't care," I said. He thanked me and said I have a very gentle voice. It was so unexpected. Usually, none of the clients pay such close attention to me. I was touched. I thanked him. "I want you to listen to me and give me advice," said Romy. I was very surprised, as I have never been an expert in any field. "What can I do for you?" I asked. "I want to understand my wife. She's not happy with our relationship," he said. "Oh, I get it. I think you're not acting right with her. You probably spend a lot of time at your job or with your friends. And on the weekends, she has to deal with the kids, take care of your house, and visiting your parents all by herself. And you don't care about any of that, right?" I asked. "No, I do all those things. My wife spends her weekends with her girlfriends. They go to shopping, sit in the bar, and go bowling. I take care of the kids all day. I visit our parents too, Rumi said. Then what's the problem? Maybe you have a mistress. You cheat on her. You're not sleeping with her, I asked. No, she's the one who refuses to be intimate with me. It's been 3 years since she said she'd decide when we'd be intimate. I've been waiting ever since. Not even they argued to cheat on her, Rumi said. That's very strange. Maybe you're just a cheapskate. You don't give her any money. She has to earn money for all her fun and worries on her own, I asked. No, she don't. I make sure her card is top up every week. She doesn't even know how much gas costs for her car, said Rami. Damn it. So what's the matter? What's her problem? I asked. That's what I wanted to ask you as a woman, because I don't have any more explanations, Rumi said. I honestly admitted that his wife looked like a complete fool, but Rumi didn't agree with me. She's a very good person, educated and wise, always saying the right thing. And don't you dare insult her, he said. I was beginning to feel irritated. Then what the hell are you doing with a hooker? Go to her and live happily ever after. Maybe this is about you. I got angry. Yes, you finally get it. It's me. I just can't figure out what it is. Help me figure it out, Rumi said. I'm sorry, Rumi. I've only known you for an hour, but I already have to argue to kick you to hell and never see you again. I think your wife feels the same way, I said honestly. Yes, you're right. She tells me that a lot. You have a good point. I just don't know what I need to change about myself to get her to stop saying that, Rumi said. I don't know. Change your character. You can't be so right. You're boring. I can't even fight with you. That's the worst thing that can happen to women, I said. Rumi made square eyes and clapped his hands together. Thank you so much. I get it now. It took me so long to figure it out. I'm going to go and try to scandalize my wife tonight. I hope she likes it, Rumi said, kissing my hand and laughed. After Rumi left, I felt like I'd been visited by a group of soldiers who hadn't had sex in 6 months. I felt wildly tired. I genuinely wondered about his wife. How does she put up with him? If she hadn't kicked him out of the house, she was a golden woman. Not 2 weeks later, Rumi showed up at my door again. What is it this time? I asked. I failed. I don't get to have a fight with her, he said. Are you an idiot? Every woman is looking for an excuse to fight. What's the big deal? Just go ahead and tell her she's fat or her hair is ugly, I said. Take your time. I have to pay you the full fare first, and then we will continue our conversation, said Rumi, and took out his wallet. Rumi, please don't. I'm ready to give you so much advice that you will have enough problems for the rest of your life. Just leave me alone, I said. No, it doesn't work like that. You're giving me your time, and your time costs money. This much. Take the money. Can I go inside now? He looked at me with the eyes of a poor puppy. I wanted to slap him, but at the time, I felt sorry for him. Rumi went into the room and made himself comfortable in a luxurious bed. When I said that my wife has short legs and 2 wide hips, she responded by telling me that she knew that and didn't sweat it. Then she added that she didn't want to live with me anymore. Rumi said, Have you tried saying no to her? Refuse to do half the chores? Let her do it herself? Then she realized how good you've been. That's my advice. I tried. Then my wife said she was finally going to be full-time hostess and do womanly duties. You know what? The best part is she got right on top of it. She didn't even ask me what to do or how to do it. She's just really good at everything. I'm scared because I don't feel needed, said Rumi. Yeah, it's a tough case, I said. Look, maybe you shall get a mistress. Maybe she will get jealous of you, get a thrill, start to appreciate your relationship. I hadn't thought of that. What do you think? In terms of morality and society, is it a strong deviation? Romy asked me. I didn't understand a damn thing he said. What? What did you say? Repeat it in simple words, please, I asked. It's okay. I got an idea. We will pretend you're my lover, and then we will see how she reacts. That way my karma stays clear, said Rumi. After that, I regretted giving him the idea 1,000 times. Now he insisted that I help him make it a reality. Come to my house. Let everyone see my wife will find out, and I hope she will get jealous of me. If you do, I will know she's interested in me, suggested Rumi. I really didn't want to get involved in this murky business, but he paid triple the rate, and I had to go to Rumi's house in broad daylight. He was home alone. He got some cold champagne out of the refrigerator and poured it into glasses. I drank and felt pleasantly relaxed. The atmosphere in Rumi's house was really luxurious. Everything inside was in order, smelled nice, the interior was stylish, and everything was tasteful. And Rumi himself was a very handsome guy. Suddenly, I realized that he was too good, too perfect for the average man. Rumi, I want you. You're a great guy. I'm being honest. No, Melanie, you can do that. You and I agreed to fake an affair, that's all. I don't want to cheat on my wife. It's important to me that my conscience is clear before her, he said. You know, Rumi, I just realized the reason for your troubles. Your wife is unhappy with your relationship because you're perfect. You're impossible to fight with. You can blow off steam. So give it a chance. Come to me. I will give you a body holiday you haven't had a long time. And your relationship will benefit from it, I said. No, I'm sorry, Melanie. You're a wonderful girl, but I can't do that, said Rumi. I still couldn't believe he was telling the truth. I threw all of my clothes, went into the Rumi's living room, and lay down on the couch. I hoped it would be 5 minutes before he came running into my arms, but he didn't. So I turned on the TV and found the adult channel and turned up the volume so that Rumi, who was in the kitchen, could hear all the sound. Before I knew it, I was dozing off. After a while, Rumi stood over to me and gently nudged my shoulder. Melanie, your time is up. There is a guy waiting for you, he said. I didn't want to leave this house, and I still wanted. Rumi, come with me. If you can do it at her house, let's do it at mine, I suggested. Mel, I already told you everything, he said firmly and handed me my dress. I was hurt. No one had ever pushed me away like that before. So I decided to get serious about Rumi. I pretended to get dressed and left my panties under the pillow on purpose. I knew his wife would find them and give him a hard time. Then either They'd have a fight and Rumi would start coming up to me. Or he would finally disappear from my life with his stupid requests. Then I will have a chance to get over him being so perfect. Not 2 weeks later, Rumi showed up at my door again. My wife found the panties, trailed them in her hands, said they weren't her, but there was no scandal. She just put them aside. She said they were very pretty. By the way, we'll have to think of something else. He said, You know what? I think she just doesn't want you. She doesn't love you, so she wouldn't care if you slept with another woman. So dump the ungrateful one and let's hook up, I suggested. I can't, said my fantastic spaceman. Why? I was indignant. Do you love her? No, it will be just a violation of moral and ethics, he said. Well, what do you suggest? I asked. Let's take it a little further. You come to my place and you and I will simulate sex, but nothing can happen between us, he said and pulled out his wallet again. 5 times the rate, I said. Rumi didn't bargain. In fact, I was ready to play this game for free for 2 reasons. I was terribly interested. And I really liked this Rumi guy. I told him more than once that I was ready to help and to sleep with him for free, and he was still ignoring the offer. And yes, as ridiculous as it sounds, I had to simulate sex with him through the moment Rumi's wife came home. She saw us naked in bed together, and she said, Rumi, I think you're in some kind of trouble. I'm sorry I didn't point them out in the time. Now I realize it's time we had a serious talk. Young lady, do you want me to call you a cab? She asked. I looked at Rumi and noticed the glow of happiness that I finally managed to get through to his wife. Thank you, he whispered in my ear. Come back if you need to. I told him back and headed for the cab his wife had called. No scandals, no swearing. A couple of days after this event, I realized that my life will not be the same. Rumi never get out of my head. How can you be such a fantastic person? He had a big impact on my outlook on life, and the very next day, I went to church to confess, but the Holy Father surprised me. It won't be easy for you to atone for your sins. I've been watching you for years. There is a man you haven't made happy, and every one of them has left their mark on your body, she said. Why didn't you come up to me? I snickered. Begone, you fool thing. How could you think that of me? Lord, forgive the servant of God for having a conversation with this harlot. You yourself witnessed how many times I warned her. He pleaded, opening his hands to heaven. That's it. Consider it a here and done. I've come to confess and get on the righteous path. Will you help me in this? I asked. But the Holy Father was adamant. He gave a long moralizing speech, scolding all the young people and their morals. I had to wait so long that it rained. And then there was a rumble, and everything went bright blue for a moment. I only had time to notice that the priest and I were slowly ascending into the sky, leaving our bodies on the ground. Lightning strike! An accident! Shouted the people behind us. So, after a while, he and I found ourselves at the gates of the heavenly realm. The priest looked at me with a judgmental look and kept crossing himself. But an old man came out of the heavenly gate as I realized he was a good acquaintance of the priests, and they greeted each other warmly. Melanie, follow me to heaven, and you, priest, you're going to hell, he said. My companion and I looked at each other in total incomprehension. Then the old man said this: Melanie lived an unhonorable life. You, priest, lived an honest life too, but you ruined it at the last moment by condemning Melanie. You forgot that she's less of a burden and you're more of a burden. So, all is fair, he said. The priest was outraged, but it didn't help him. Presently, I felt sorry for him. I went to the old man who runs our paradise and told him to transfer the priest to us. He promised to think about it, but for now, it's like this.